real numbers. So what is the real number? Real numbers are that numbers which represents real number are that numbers which represent on the number line. Means एक नंबर लाइन मान लो इसको 0 1 ये 2 3, दिस वन इज द -1 -2 -3, कोई भी नंबर ये नंबर लाइन के ऊपर में कोई भी नंबर ये है रियल नंबर. मान लो ये वाला दिस वन इज द सपोज 2.7, दिस वन इज ऑल्सो द रियल नंबर. सपोज पाई, द वैल्यू ऑफ पाई is 3.14 approx. This one is the approx. So this one is, if you take this one is the 4, then suppose this one is the 3.14 and suppose this one is represent as the pi. So pi, this one is also the real number. So real number means that number which represent on the number line. So that's why this one is the number line, and any number on that number line is the real number. Now in the chapter real number, first one, this one is the Euclid's division lemma. Euclid's division lemma, the statement is let a and b be any two positive integers, means a and b they are the two integer, positive integer. Then there exist unique integers q and r. Q and r be the unique integers such that a is equal to bq plus r, b into q plus r, where the restriction of r means r is lies between 0 to b. This one is nothing but this one is only the division. Suppose this one is the b, we have to divide, then q is the quotient and r is the remainder. So a can be expressed as a is equal to b into q plus r. Then the value of r obviously 0 or less than b. So that's why 0 less than equal to r less than b. Suppose the two positive integers, we can consider the one example, two positive integers 17 and suppose the 39. So at first we have to choose which number is the small number and which one is the larger number. So obviously 17 is the small number and we have to consider 17 is the b, and larger number 39, this one we have to consider, this one is the a. Then 39 can be represent 39, this one is equal to 17 into 2, 34 plus 5. So a and b, that's mean the 17 and 13 are the two positive integers. Then there exist unique integers q and r. So 2 and 5, these two numbers are unique. 39 and 17. In this case 39 can be represented as 17 into 2 plus 5. Here 2 and 5 the unique number, because when we have to divide, then 17 and 39. So 17 into 2, 34 and 5 is the remainder. So that's why here the 5 and here the 2. Q is the 2, R is the 5, and this one is the unique. So this one is the Euclid's division lemma. Now next one is the Euclid's division algorithm. Okay, Euclid's division algorithm is this one is the very important for the next question, that's mean the example. Euclid's division algorithm is to find the HCF of two positive integers. That means the Euclid's division algorithm is applicable in case of the HCF, only in case of the HCF, to find the HCF. So to find the HCF of two positive integers, say a and b, with a is greater number than b. So we consider a is the larger number and b is the smaller number. Then follow the step below. Here the step is given and we have to follow these steps. So first step is apply Euclid's division lemma to A and B, so that we find Q and R, and here Q and R is the unique, obviously, because in the Euclid's division lemma, this one Q and R is the unique. So here the Q and R is the unique, such that A is equal to BQ plus R. So by using the Euclid's division lemma, this one is the A is equal to BQ plus R. So that's why this one is the Euclid division lemma. And where 0 is less than equal to R less than B. So in the Euclid's division lemma. Now the step 2. Step 2 is the value of R may be 0 or may be 0 or 0 to B. Okay. So if the value be R, value of R be the 0, then B is the HCF of A and B. Okay. So when the remainder be the 0, R means remainder is the 0, then we have to consider the small number, that means the smaller number A and B. The B is the HCF of A and B. If in the step 3, if R is not equal to 0, that means R 0 less than R less than B. Here the 0 less than equal to R less than B. First step, that's mean that in step 2 we consider R equal to 0, and the step 3 we consider if the value of R is not equal to 0, that's mean the 0 less than R less than B. So if R is not equal to 0, then we apply Euclid's division lemma to B and R. That's mean first step we consider the Euclid's division lemma to A and B, here the two number A and B, and in the step 3, if R not equal to 0, then we apply division Euclid's division lemma to B and R. Okay, and continue the process till the remainder be 0. The divisor at the last stage will be the required HCF. Okay, so if R is not equal to 0, then we have to find the Euclid division lemma of B and R and continue the, again we have to find the remainder. If the remainder is not equal to 0, then we continue the process. If the remainder be 0, then at that stage we have to stop here, and the divisor of the last stage will be the required HCF. Now we will consider the one example. The example is find the HCF of 836 and 225 by division algorithm, and hence find the LCM. So first part is find the HCF of these two number, then we have to find the LCM by using the HCF, and last one is express HCF into the linear combination of the two given numbers, means 867 and 255. So here the three questions. First one is the we have to find the HCF, second we have to find the LCM, and third question is express HCF in the linear combination of the given two numbers. Okay, so first one we have to find the HCF of these two numbers. So first we consider the two numbers 867 and 225. So we consider which number is the larger number. Okay, so first surely 867 is the larger number and 255 is the smaller number. So larger number can be expressed, 867 can be expressed as the 255 is multiplied by some number and with addition with R. R means we have to find the remainder. So in this way 255 867, obviously 255 is multiplied by 3, then the value is the 765. So here the 2 is the remainder and 0 here the 1. So 102 is the remainder, that's mean this one is the 102, and 255 is multiplied by 3. So 867 means 255 into 3 plus 102. So here the remainder is, what is the remainder? Remainder is equal to 102. So obviously this is not equal to 0, that's mean in the step 2 if R equal to 0, then B is the HCF, and step 3 if R is not equal to 0, then we apply Euclid's division lemma to B and R. So B means this one is the B, 255, and R means 102. So we apply division lemma of which two numbers? 255 and 102. So similarly 255 is the larger number, so 255 can be expressed as 102 is multiplied by, obviously this one is the 2, then 204. So 204, this one is the 204, and 204 255 minus 204, that's mean this one is the 51. So 51 is the remainder. If you divide this like this way, then 2 is the 2 multiplied by 102, then this one is the 204, and subtraction, this one is the 51. So 51 is the remainder. So similarly here also the remainder is 0, remainder is 51, and again this one is not equal to 0. So again we have to apply the division lemma of 102 and 51. So again we apply division lemma of 102 and 51. Okay, so again 102 is the larger number, so 102 can be expressed as the 51 is multiplied by some number, 51 is multiplied by 2, then the value is the 102, and the remainder is 0. So in the third stage, that's been the first one, this one is the first one, second one, and third one. In the third one we can say that 0 is the remainder. So here the remainder is 0, remainder is equal to 0. So remainder 0 means we can by using the division algorithm, here the remainder is 0, that's mean B is the HCF of A and B. B means B into Q. Okay, so in this case remainder is equal to 0, that's mean the HCF is, so that's why we can say that the HCF is equal to 51. So first condition is, that means the first answer is HCF of these two number is 51. Now the second one, hence find the LCM. Hence find the LCM means by your knowledge we can say that the LCM into HCF, this one is equal to product of the two numbers. I think you know product of two numbers. That's mean HCF is the 51, that's why LCM into LCM this equal to product of two numbers means 867 into 255 divided by 51. So 51 is multiplied by 5, then the value is the 225. Now we have to find the LCM. LCM means 867 into 5, so the value is 4335. So that's mean the LCM is the 4335. So this one is the second part, that's mean the find the LCM. Now the last one is very important. Express HCF into the linear combination of two given numbers. So now this one is the one statement, that's mean the expression, this one is the another expression, and this one is the another expression by the division lemma. This one is 867, this one is the representation of 867, then the representation of 255, this one is the 255, then 51 is the remainder, so this one is the 51 is the remainder, and 102 is represent as this way. Now express HCF. HCF means what is the HCF? HCF is the 51. So we have to represent 51 in terms of the linear combination of two given numbers. Linear combination of two given number means 867 is the one number, so this one is multiplied by x plus 255 is the another number, so 255 into y. So we have to represent 51 as linear combination of 867 and 255. So 51, now 51 can be represented as, now at first you seen that 51 comes in where the remainder where the comes 51. So here this is not the remainder is the 0 in the last stage. In the second stage, that's mean the previous stage, 51 is the remainder. So at first in this stage we have to write 51 is equal to, so 51 equal to 255 minus this one 102 into 2. So 51 can be represented as 255 minus 102 into 2. Okay, so this stage complete. Now the previous stage. So previous stage is, here the remainder is 102. So we have to represent 100 to this one equal to 867 minus 255 into 3. So in place of 102, we have to write 867 in place of the, this one is 255 minus 102 means in the first stage we have to write 867 minus 255 into 3. Okay, that's mean this one is the 255 minus 102 into 2. Okay, so this one is the minus 867 into 2, then minus plus 255 into 6. Okay, now here the 255 is the 1 times and here the 255 is the 6 times, so that's mean this one is the 255 is the 7 times. Then the minus sign occur, so here we have to write the minus sign, and this one is the 867 into 2. So 51 can be represented as the linear combination of these two numbers, 255 and 867. That's mean 51, this one is equal to 255 into 7 minus 867 into 2. If you multiply and then subtract, then the result will be the 51. Example, so that the square of an odd positive integers can be of the form of 6m plus 1 or 6m plus 3 for some integer m, where m is the some integers. So that the square of an odd positive integers means at first we have to consider which numbers are the odd and which numbers are the even. So odd number means those number which are not divisible by 2. Okay, so that's mean the 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 7, that's mean they are the odd numbers, and 2, 4, 6 they are the even numbers. So at first we have to consider in general odd numbers, or the general, at first we have to consider the general numbers. So all the positive numbers, all the positive integers are here the 6m are in the given form. This one is given the 6m, so at first we have to write this one at the 6m form. Okay, so all the positive integers are 6m, 6m plus 1, 6m plus 2, 6m plus 3, 6m plus 4 and 6m plus 5. Any number can be represented either these 6 forms, either in these 6 forms, and they are derived from the, actually they are derived from the Euclid division lemma. Actually here the, in this case here we have to consider a and b in the Euclid division lemma. Here the b is the 6. Okay, and you can choose a is the any number. So a can be represented as the, in the Euclid division lemma, a is the bq plus r. Okay, so where the condition is 0 less than equal to or less than b. So we consider here the b is the 6, that's mean the 6q plus r, where the condition of r is 0 less than equal to or less than b means 6. So the value of r either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's why 6q plus 0 means 6q, or the, here I will consider the 6m. Okay, not to write here the 6m, this one is the 6q, because in the given question here the m is given, that's why you cannot take the m, so that's why you can write the 6q. Here also the 6q, this one is also 6q, this one is also the 6q, and this one is the 6q. So 6 cube plus 0, then the 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 2, 6 cube plus 3, 6 cube plus 4, 6 cube plus 5. So all the positive numbers are in the form of 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 2, like this way. Out of this 6 number, which number are the odd number and which number is the even number? At first you seen that 6 cube, only 6 cube. 6 cube is the even number. So each case 6 cube, this one is the even number, this one is the even number. Always 6 cube is the even number. And 1 is the odd number, 2 is the even number, 3 is the odd number, 4 is the even number, and 5 is the odd number. When even number is added with odd number, then the resultant result, this is the always odd number. Even number is added with the odd number, then the result will be the odd number. Suppose we have to consider this one is the 2 and odd number is the 7, then this result will be the 9, and this one is also the odd number. So 6 cube, this one is the even number, so we cannot consider this one. Now 6 cube plus 1, this one is the even and this one is the odd, so this one is the odd number, and we will consider this number 6 cube plus 2. So similarly 6 cube plus 2, this one is the even number, 6 cube plus 3, this one is the odd number, 6 cube plus 4, this one is the even number, and 6 cube plus 5, this one is the odd number. So therefore odd numbers are 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3, and 6 cube plus 5. And here the q is any integer or whole number, any whole number, not the integer. If you consider the value of q is the 0, then this is not applicable. That's why we have to consider q is the any whole number. So odd numbers are 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3, and 6 cube plus 5. Now so that the square of an odd positive integer. So square means we have to find 6 cube plus 1 whole square. So obviously a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square means a square. A square means 6 cube whole square plus 2ab, 2 into 6 cube into 1 plus 1 square. That means the result is the 36 cube square plus 12 cube plus 1. Okay. Now this number, since that here the result is either in the 6m plus 1, so plus 1 is present, and or 6m plus 3. So 6m plus 1. So we have to write this number, that means the underlying number is in the form of 6m. So if you consider 6 is the common, then this one is the 6q square plus 2q plus 1. That means this one is the 6m plus 1. M is equal to 6q square plus 2q. We consider this one is the m. Now another one. Another odd number is 6q plus 3. Okay. Another 6q plus 3. Okay. So 6q plus 3 whole square. This one is equal to 6q whole square plus 2 into 6q into 3 plus 3 square. That means this one can be represented as 36q square plus 2 into 3 6, 6 into 6 36, this one q plus 9. Okay. Now see that here the 9, but the actual result is here the either 6m plus 1 or 6m plus 3. Okay. So we consider 9 as the 6 plus 3. So that means this one is the 36q square plus 36q plus 6 plus 3. 9 can be represented as 6 plus 3. Now we have to take common 6 from this number. So this one is the 6, then the 6q square plus 6q plus 1, then plus 3. Now we have to consider, here we have to consider this one is the m. So this one is the 6m plus 3 form. Okay. Now and last one is the 6q plus 5. So 6q plus 5 whole square. This one is equal to similarly 6q whole square plus 2 into 6q into 5 plus 5 square. So this one is the 36q square plus 5 into 2 10 into 60, 60 cube plus 25. So 25 we have to represent 24 plus 1. So this one is the 36 cube square plus 60 cube plus 24 plus 1. Now we have to represent this one is the 6 into 6 cube square plus 10 cube plus 4. Not to take the common, here the 2 also common, that's mean the 12. Not to common the 12, only you have to common the 6. So 6m plus 1, we have to consider this one is the m. So here the odd numbers are the square of the odd numbers, this one and this one are expressed in the form of 6m plus 1, here the 6m plus 3, here also the 6m plus 1. So that therefore square of an odd positive integer can be of the form 6m plus 1 or 6m plus 3. Example, prove that the product of three consecutive positive integers, three consecutive positive integer means suppose the 5 6 7, okay, suppose the 7 8 9. So three consecutive numbers, their product is mustly divisible by 6, okay. So three consecutive positive number means they are in the form three consecutive positive integers are n plus 1 and n plus 2, where n is an any integer, where n is a positive integer. So three consecutive positive integers, they are the n plus 1 and n plus 2, where n is the positive integer. Now we have to find the product of these three numbers, that's mean n into n plus 1 into n plus 2, and this number is divisible by 6. So at first we have to consider the positive numbers are in the which form. Similarly, the previous sum, we consider all the positive numbers, positive integers are six p plus 1, 6p plus 2, 6p plus 3, 6p plus 4 and 6p plus 5. So they are the positive integers. All the positive integers are written here. Now we have to consider, first we have to consider the value of n is the 6p. Second we have to consider the value of n is the 6p plus 1. Then we have to 6p plus 2 and till now 6p plus 5. So case 1. We consider let n equal to 6p. Then we have to find the product, that's mean n into n plus 1 into n plus 2. That's mean 6p is multiplied by 6p plus 1 is multiplied by 6p plus 2. We have to put the value of n is the 6p. So obviously this number is divisible by 6 because which is divisible by 6. So obviously consecutive three numbers, their product is divisible by 6. Now we have to consider the case 2. In this case we have to consider n, the value of n is the 6p plus 1. So then the value of n into n plus 1 into n plus 2, what is the value of this? So in place of n we have to put 6p plus 1, okay. Then n plus 1, that's mean the 6p plus 1 plus 1, then 6p plus 1 plus 2. So the product is 6p plus 1 into 6p plus 2 into 6p plus 3. Now we have to take the common 2 from here and 3 from here. That means this one is the 6, then the 6p plus 1, as we have to consider the 2 as the common, that means this one is the 3p plus 1, and here this one is the 3 will be the common, that means this one is the 2p plus 1. Okay, so obviously this number is divisible by 6 because 6 is the factor. So similarly, which is divisible by 6. Similarly, case 3. Here let we have to consider n equal to 6p plus 2. So if you put in here, that's mean the n into n plus 1 into n plus 2, then the value is 6p plus 2 into 6p plus 2 plus 1 into 6p plus 2 plus 2. So similarly, this one is the 6p plus 2. So here the 3 will be 2 will be common. That's mean that 2 into 3p plus 1. Here the 6p plus 3. So 6p plus 3 means we have to consider the common 6p plus 3, we have to 3. So 2p plus 1. Then 6p plus 4, you can take the common or not. Here the 2 into 3 6, so we cannot take the common. So that's mean this one is the 6 is multiplied by 3p plus 1 into 2p plus 1 into 6p plus 4. Obviously this number is also divisible by 6. If you consider the number 4 case number 4 and case number 5 and case number 6 also, that's mean the if you put the value of n is the 6p plus 3 or 6p plus 4 or 6p plus 5, then this in this case these numbers are also divisible by 6. So hence we can say that, and everyone seen this one also, case 4, 5 and 6. Okay, this you have to do this one, these 3 case also. Hence the product of three consecutive numbers positive integers is divisible by 6. So that the cube of any positive integer is of the form of 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Okay, so the cube of any positive integer. So at first we have to consider positive integers. So first one is positive integers, all positive integers are in the form of 3p. Here the m is given, so we cannot write the m. 3p plus 1 and 3p plus 2. Okay, so here the 3, so that's mean the remainder be the 0, 1 or 2. 0, here the 0, this one is the remainder is the 1, and here the remainder is 2. So in this type of the problem, here we have to consider the positive integer is the 3p plus 1 and 3p plus 2. Previous problem, here in this previous problem there we consider the numbers in the 6p plus 1, 6p plus 2 like this way. So this type, that's mean this consideration is the very important. Okay, so how to consider this number in this case? Here the 9m, if you consider the 2p and 2p plus 1, then they are also in the positive integers in the form of 2p and 2p plus 1. If you consider the 2p and 2p plus 1 and the cube of 2p or 2p plus 1, this is not in the form of 9m, because when you have to consider the cube of 2, then this one is the 8, 9 is not present. If you consider the cube of 3, then the 27. 27 means the multiple of 9. 9 into 3, that's why we consider here the 3p, 3p plus 1 and 3p plus 2. Now first one is 3p whole cube. So 3p cube, so 3p whole cube means 27p cube. So 27p cube means we have to write 9m, that's mean the 9 into 3p cube, that's mean this one is the 9m, where m is the 3p cube. We consider the m is the this one. So obviously one number whose cube is in the form of 9m. Another one we have to so that this one is the 9m plus 1, and last one this one is the 9m plus 8. Now the second one, 3p plus 1, second number, that's mean the second positive integer whose cube 3p plus 1 whole cube, that's mean the 3p whole cube, a cube plus 3a square b means 3p whole square into b plus 3ab square plus b cube, that's mean this one is the 27p cube plus 3 square means 9, 9 into 3, 27, so 27p square plus this one is the 9p, 1 square means 1, and this one is also 1. Now question is in the form of 9m, 9m plus 1 and 9m plus 8. Here the 1 is present, that's why we have to consider this one is the 9m. That's mean we take the common 9 from this part. So this one is the 3p cube plus 3p plus 1, then the plus 1. So this one is the 9m plus 1, and we consider m equal to 3p cube plus 3p plus 1. Okay, and the last one, this one is the 3p plus 2 whole cube. So this one is the 3p whole cube, 3p plus 2 whole cube, a cube plus 3a square b, a square means 3p whole square into b plus 3ab square means 2 square plus b cube means 2 cube. So this one is the 27p cube plus 9 3 is 27 into 2, 54. So this one is the 54p square plus 9 into 4, 36p plus 2 cube, that's mean 8. Now this one is in the form of the 9, so we have to take the common is the 9, so that's mean this one is the 3p cube plus 6p square, 9 into 4, 36p plus 8. So that's mean we have to consider this one is the 9m plus 8, here m is this one. M is consider 3p cube plus 6p square, sorry here the this one is the p square, 6p square plus 4p, and here also this one is the 9p, this one is the p. Okay, so this one is the 9m plus 8, this one is the 9m plus 1, and first one is the 9m. So that's why cube of any positive integer is in the form of 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Next one is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. The statement is every composite number means the number which can be expressed as the product of any other number. So composite number can be expressed as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique. This one is the unique factorizations apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. Suppose we have to consider the number is 54. So obviously 54 is divisible by 2, then the value is the 27, then 3. That's mean this one is the one prime factors of 54. Prime factors of 54 is 2 is multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, and this expression, that's mean that this primes are the unique. That's factorization is the unique. If you are write like this way, 3 into 2 into 3 into 3, these two number are the same apart from the order. Order means here the 2 and the only 1 2 and 3 is the 3 times. Here also the only 1 and 3 is the 3 times. So the factorizations are the unique, but they are the in the like different way. So 2, here the first one is the 2, then the 3, and here the first 3, then we have to write the 2, then 3. So both are the same. So this one is, that's why the factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. Okay. So the first example is express 3825 as the product of its prime factor. So at first we have to find the prime factors tree, prime tree or the prime factor tree. Then we have to represent this one. So first one is 3825. This number is divisible by 3. Okay. So after division of the 3, this number is 3 1 ja 3, then the 3 2 into 2 6. So 2 is the remainder, then 22. So the 7 3 into 7 21 1 5. Now 1275, this number also divisible by 3, and after division of 3, this one is the 4 3 4 ja 12, and again 2 6 1 5. Then the 425 can be represented as, that's mean the divisible by 5. So 5 8 ja 40, then the 2 5 5 ja. Again 85 divisible by 5, and the value is 70, and 17 is itself a prime number. So that's why 3825 can be represented as, this one is encircled. So this one is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 and multiplied by 17. So that's mean 3 square is multiplied by 5 square is multiplied by 17. We have to find HCF and LCM by using the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay. So here HCF means product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers. Okay. So here the product of the smallest power, okay, smallest power of each common factor, common prime factor. This two term is very important in HCF. HCF means we have to find the smallest power and having the common prime factors. And in case of the LCM, LCM means product of the greatest power, product of greatest power of each prime factors. In the case of the HCF, this one is the smallest power, and LCM, this one is the greatest power. And in case of the HCF, here the common prime factor, if the common prime factor is not present, then we have to find the HCF is 1. But in case of the LCM, there the common prime factor is not present. The greatest power of each prime factors involved in the number, not in this case common prime factors are not given. So here the common prime factors is not applicable. So I will take the one example. We have to find HCF and LCM of the following integers, that means the small number 12, 15 and 21. So first one is we have to find the prime factors of 12. So you can write prime factors or the prime factorization of 12. So 2, then the 6 means again divisible by 2, 3. That means this one is the 2 square is multiplied by 3. Okay. Now the prime factorization of 15, this one is 3 multiplied by 5. So here the 3 into 5. And prime factorization of 21, this one is the 3 into 7. So this one is also 3 into 7. Now when we have to find the HCF of which numbers? HCF of 12, 15 and 21. And last one is we have to find LCM of 12, 15 and 20. We have to find these two. First one is HCF and second one is the LCM. So HCF of 12, 15 and 21 is HCF means the smallest power of each common prime factors. So here the common prime factors is, here the 2 is present, prime numbers is the 2 and 3, here the 3 and 5 and 3 and 7. So the common number is the 3. Here the 3 is present, here also 3 is present, here also 3 is present. So 3 is the common number. 2 is not the common number, 2 is present here, but in these two cases 2 is not present, and also 5 is not the present, and 7 is not present in these two cases. 5 is not present here and here. So 3 is the common number. And the smallest power, here the power is 1, here also 1, and here also 1. So the smallest power is 1. So that's why 3 to the power 1. That means this one is the HCF is the 3. And we have to find the LCM. LCM means greatest power in each prime factors. Okay. So here the prime factors is 12. 12 is the, in this case 12, 2 and 3 is present, here the 3 and 5 is present, and here the 2 and 3 and 7 present. So the prime factors is 2, 3, 5 and 7. All the prime factors 2, 3, here 3 common, so we have to consider only 1, 2, 3, 5 and 7. Now consider the greatest power. Greatest power means here the 2 is the 2 times, here 2 is nothing, that's mean the 0 times, here also the 0 times, so 2 is the highest. Okay, 3 is 1 times, here the 1 times, 1 times, so the greatest number is 1, so that's mean the out of these 3 number greatest is the 1. Again 5 is the 1 time and 7 is the 1 time, that's mean the 2 2s are 4 is multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by the 7. So the 7 3 is 21, and 21 into 20, that's mean the 420. So the LCM of these 3 number is 420, and HCF of these 3 number is 3.